Hey, welcome in here from our Magnolia Lobby studio, Gaylord Opry. That is where I am.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
You're not in Kansas anymore. You're not in Vegas anymore, Bill.
I have traveled east to west and west to east across the country like 24 hours. And Blake Shelton's Old Red officially opened. The grand opening. Had a soft opening back in January around Super Bowl. And he was there. It was the last time he was there, but he played twice. He played both Tuesday and Wednesday night at Old Red, Las Vegas.
Would you win us?
I didn't. I'm not a gambler. I didn't spend a penny. I've only done it one time, and that was in honor of the Rat Pack.
Okay.
In old Las Vegas. And that was on a slot machine. That was it.
Okay.
So,
Fine.
You?
Well,
Are you disappointed in me that I didn't get a tattoo like you did the first time you went to Vegas?
Well, it was the second time I went to Vegas. But, yeah, details.
Such a conservative, this girl.
The only Vegas thing I ever did was get a tattoo. I've not done slot machines. I've not gambled. I haven't gone to the 3 a.m. DJ set pool party stuff. I've gone to concerts, and I got a tattoo. Safely, with friends.
Charlie?
Oh, I've gambled for sure. Yeah. And I've seen shows.
And tattoo?
Yes. Not yet,
No
but I've determined it's going to happen this year.
Oh, really?
I talked him into it.
My great fear was that what would it look like when I get old? And now I'm old, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to do all the things I didn't want to do until I get old. I'm just going to start doing them.
And Garth is out there. He opened yesterday with a spring Vegas run. And there you go, being a copycat again.
Well, I'm not going to do the full half body.
You don't know what you're going to do yet.
So, well, I pretty much know.
You want to be like him. You know you do.
I do, actually. This is,
Circle now. That's one of the ways. The app, it's available in your app store on demand. The great thing about it, 24 hours. So if you see something, you got to see it again. And if you missed it, say, oh, I can go back and get it. Yes, you can. Peacock, Roku, Zumo, Fubo, Tubi, Sling, Redbox. There's Samsung, Vizio, smart TVs. And it's all at circlecountry.com. And you can actually, great thing about that is you can link to your favorite streaming platform for Coffee, Country, and Cody on Circle. Eryn, what you working on?
What am I working on? Well, everybody wants to enjoy a crisp cocktail on a rooftop as soon as it hits above 65 degrees. At least that is my and my roommate's favorite thing to do
Kind of the way
this
we
time of
rolled
year.
in Vegas at Blake's place.
And how we rolled in New Orleans last weekend.
Yeah.
So
rooftop bar with misters in Las Vegas, by the way.
Very nice.
It was funky.
Well, what better way than to do it when Hardy is entering his bartending era? The two very surprising people he teamed up with to promote a new cocktail.
Does this follow the era where he was in prison after murdering that guy in Wait in the Truck with Lainey Wilson?
Yes.
This is what you do when you get out of the big house?
Yes.
You go to
you make a canned cocktail. Very hardcore.
Bartending school.
Yes, exactly. All right. Also, Chris Young, he is headlining a huge event here in Nashville this summer. We can't wait. It's so warm and crispy out. Chris Young, we're very excited for you. And we are honoring the life and legacy of Dickie Betts, the guitar player and founding member of the Allman Brothers. He sadly passed. We will relive some of our favorite memories coming up in just a little while.
You said warm and crispy. Things
Warm and
it will
crispy.
not be on the 4th of July with Chris Young. It'll be warm and wet.
That okay. Well, I guess.
Yes, this is the way we roll. We can do humidity in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys want to give us a little preview of what's coming from Jackson Dean? The two of you are doing it beautifully.
Oh, yes. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
'Cause I'm fearless. Jump off the ledges, burn all the bridges, down on the edges.
Morning, Clinton Gregory. Your daughter's hanging out on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Clinton Gregory, 1991. Ali, I played your father on vinyl.
Oh my
That's how
gosh.
old I am.
I love that.
It's my 30th anniversary year at WSM. But
Congratulations.
My 53rd year in this business. Thank
Oh
you
my
so much.
goodness.
But so many wonderful friendships like your
Yeah.
father.
Oh, yeah.
Whom I met in the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
1990,
Oh,
91.
yeah.
And then the biggest hit, of course, what you just heard, there was his version of Freeborn Man by Jimmy Martin is
Chills.
as good as it gets.
Oh, yeah.
Play Ruby, Play was another one.
Oh,
that I
that one's
recall.
probably one of my favorites.
But Hank and Willie and Merle and Restless Heart. So hello to Larry Stewart and the guys. They get a shout out. And if you play a tender lie, I might just fall apart. So that would have been the soundtrack of your life growing up
oh,
as
yeah.
a kid.
Basically, I mean, it's, golly, my dad is such a huge impact on me, not only just musically, but spiritually. And he's my biggest muse, you know, and his footsteps, it's like, that's where I'm going. and those are some big shoes to fill.
Well, and there's been such a resurgence of that period, the 90s country resurgence that you hear us talk about. And that was right there at the beginning of it all.
Yep.
In the early part of that decade.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So music is always what you wanted to do?
Always. I mean, even since I was a little girl, I was sang in the church choir with my mom and my sisters. And it was...
How many sisters?
So I've got an older sister and a younger sister.
Are we all musical?
Middle child.
All of it. Yeah, I'm the middle child.
Did we do like the Gregory Girls Trio at some point?
Cute.
Oh, we still do. We
Do
do.
you really?
Yep. Me and my mom and my older sister, we get together, on the weekends, and we'll do Sunday dinner, and we'll sit on the front porch, and we'll just do some front porch picking. And
Well, you're like the McIntyre Girls.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's all music. I've always been involved in it. I've always been surrounded by it. So it was just a natural thing, almost like a natural calling for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm diving into it. Why not? Why not? The worst I could hear is no.
Yeah. And you're going to hear it if you get in the music business anyway.
sure.
It's just how many times can you hear it?
Exactly.
Before you give up or
Yeah.
you just plow through.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you were raised here?
I was raised here. Yep. Born and raised Nashville native.
And your dad's Virginia native,
Yep.
if I remember.
Yep. My mom is Virginia native as well.
Okay.
Yep.
What parts?
So she was raised up in Bristol, and then
Okay.
Yep. Love Bristol.
Very familiar.
Yep. And then he was born in West Virginia area. So
Very good.
yeah.
Would drive through Bristol every summer to and from the University of Alabama to get home to my neck of the woods.
There
up,
you go.
in Vienna, Virginia.
Oh,
So,
heck yeah.
And that city gets crazy on both sides of the border twice a year.
Oh, yeah.
When 150,000 people fill a racetrack, right?
Oh, man. Don't even get me started.
Have you been?
Oh, yeah.
I've never been to Bristol. It's the one
Oh.
NASCAR track I would most like to go, just because you can see everything.
Yeah.
you know?
And so I haven't seen a Bristol race yet. But
Did you go to the University of Tennessee football game when they played it there? You remember
know
that?
what? I haven't even been to a UT game before. And that's kind of like disappointing for a Nashville native to not even go to a UT game. But yeah, no, a Bristol racetrack is huge. And we went for Country Thunder.
Oh, right.
So, we were all up in it. But it was great. And funny story about that racetrack is my aunt back in the day took a car down that racetrack back in the 70s. So.
Oh, no kidding.
No kidding.
So tell us, first of all, you have to tell the backstory on your arrival this morning and how your morning started.
Oh, man.
The alarm didn't go off first.
The alarm did
The
not
baby
go off.
did.
The baby did. Yes,
The baby went off.
the baby started my morning at about 4:45, which was fine. Gave me a 15-minute head start, I thought. But then, it's like, okay, my eyes shoot open. WSM, baby's crying. Grab the bottle.
So many thoughts, so little time.
Yeah, and she's a mama's girl. So I go in there and she's like, she just wants to like hold my hand
And cuddle.
touch my knuckles, and I'm like, okay, what time is it? Girlfriend, I've been in here an hour. I've got to go.
So tell us about your girls. You got all girls and their
All
ages and
girls.
names?
All girls. The oldest, she's 10. Her name's Helena. The middle is Penelope. She'll be 5 in May. And the youngest is Finley, who will be 2 in May.
Gorgeous names.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not every day, or as Sarah Evans calls them, daycare names.
Yeah.
That's true.
That get popular and everybody's named that
I
for a
can't
period
take
of time.
I can't take any credit for it. I did not name any of them. I said, you know what, Dad, it's all you.
So, and so what's your full name? Ali is
Ali Marquette Gregory.
Marquis?
Marquette.
Marquette.
Yep. It's Italian, so that's my grandmother's name.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. Well, the last time you were here, you were talking about how having your daughters sort of affected your musical journey quite a bit and gave it some twists and turns.
For sure.
In this new project that you have coming out, do you address that in it? And if so, how?
And by the way, it's out today.
Yes.
It
called
is. It's
Heavy.
out today. Yeah.
And just follow Ali, Ali Gregory.
Yep. So this EP, I would say, and I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago, just thinking about the songs and the messages behind it. And, I sat there and I said, oh my gosh, this is like 3 seasons of life that I went through within a year. 2 of the songs, actually all of them are new. All 3 of them are brand new, haven't been released. Tennessee and Me, I would say, is the one that kind of represents my life now and where I'm at. And it was a journey to get there.
What were the other 2 seasons?
The other two seasons were a little rough. A divorce. and the coming to that divorce, which was shot of whiskey. So the way that I organized this was kind of from good to bad. So Tennessee to me, it's like, okay, you're finally coming up for air. You're at peace. You're where you need to be, and this is how I was raised. This is how I'm living. This is how I want to bring my girls up. And this is just all about the life here in Tennessee and where we're putting our roots and, where we want to continue to grow within, our family and just life in general. Heavy is basically like, hey, this is heavy. Like, I can't do this anymore. I can't just keep holding on, or, it's like one of those things where, it's like, when you hold on to something for too long, it just starts to hurt you.
Yep.
And so that song was just really a breakthrough, like, let it go. You can't,
You don't realize just how used to the pain you've gotten.
Oh, man. And I dealt with it for better part of almost 10 years.
Wow.
So, and it was more like, okay, just keep going. It'll get better. It'll get better. It'll get better. And then it was like, at this point, I'm just a doormat. I can't, so.
Yeah. Do you almost forget what normal feels like?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know what normal is.
Yeah. And Tennessee and Me, you did live for us.
I sure did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's a video for that available?
Yeah, there is with the acoustic demo, but I do plan on getting some video work done with these songs that I just put out, fully composed. So
How fun.
Yeah.
Your publicist, your father, Clinton, advanced me that when you were coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And if people want to see you, they can. You will be playing on May 2nd, May 9th, and May 21st. That will be the Commodore Grill. Let's see, the 2nd is the Commodore Grill, then Live Oak on the 9th, and then back at the Commodore Grill on the 21st.
Oh, yeah.
Ali, thanks for getting up early, taking care of all the kids, and still making it in here and looking terrific.
Oh,
And
thank you.
What
Thank
a
you for
rockin'
having
mama.
me. Hey, don't let this fool you, okay?
a lot of work went into this.
A lot of work.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Hi, Bill Cody. It's Carly Pearce, and I just want to congratulate you on 30 years with WSM Radio. I could say a lot of things. You have been a dear friend of mine for years, given me so many first opportunities just to get my music heard, and you even officiated my wedding, and I guess that would make your time in radio with WSM 29 years longer than my marriage lasted.
I'm 0 for 1.
When I tell you,
Please allow me to do the next one.
But there's not been a lot of demand for your services recently.
29 years longer than my marriage.
when I tell
You
you,
got to have a sense of humor, and she does. Wow.
when I tell you I watched
love
this,
I love you, Carly Pearce, so much.
I dropped to my knees when I saw that video because I put a bunch of things together for you, and I won't survive that.
She's so dry as she does it because you don't see that coming. The humor is coming.
It's the thumb. It's the slow.
That's it. The
thumbs
slow
up.
burn.
I got it.
Well, that is beautiful. Thanks. I didn't see that coming at all, but
I didn't think you would, and I'm so glad you didn't.
Loved every second of it. By the way, Jelly Roll, here's your answer. He was named after a jelly donut, not a jelly roll. But he didn't realize that there was
jelly rolls existed.
Well, there was a difference,
Right.
Yeah.
I guess, that there's a thing called a jelly roll. He went on to say that you can imagine he gets them at every venue now when he arrives. Somebody's made it a point to get him some jelly rolls. His favorites, he says, I love anything with strawberry or grape.
Oh, yeah. I agree on both of those.
Those are his favorites.
Not crazy about the raspberry, personally. But
Oh, really?
yeah.
Well, I'll take yours. If you could, the raspberry.
Now,
I
for a
love those.
donut, every once in a while you get lucky. Like sometimes Dunkin' will have like the blueberry filling. Oh, it changes the whole dynamic of the donut.
Man,
It's
you know
really
how-
terrific.
You know how to live, don't you?
Pretty wild life.
Well, what's
I
funny
have.
is that no one ever asked him if he likes them having that name. That was just a question that never came up. He was never asked until recently, and he was like, I'm so glad someone finally asked because, yes, I do. And in fact, people leave them in my green rooms all the time, and I get stoked that they're there waiting for me. So I might need to go home and have one.
Eleanor Donahue, the lady druggist on the Andy Griffith Show, is 87. That's what we call my daughter Hannah, who is a pharmacist. We refer to her as the lady druggist there at Thomas Drug. Becca Bramlett is 66. Ashley Judd is 56 today. Kate Hudson is 45. Matt Stell is 40.
Oh, got to send him a message.
And Maria Sharapova, the tennis star, is 37 years old today.
Well, they should all enjoy a birthday cocktail if they're into that.
And a jelly roll.
And a jelly roll.
Yeah.
And a great pairing, I hear, with a jelly roll is Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's new gin and juice cocktail. And if you're watching on Circle Country, you are now looking at an image that I simply have not been able to process for the last 24 hours. Yes, you are looking at Hardy in the middle with Dr. Dre to the right and Snoop Dogg on the left. Hardy was hand-selected by the two rap icons to highlight their new gin-based cocktails. You may remember the Grammy-nominated 1994 hit Gin and Juice that those two were on. Hardy was tapped by Jimmy Iovine to remake the song.
Can we play Ray Wiley Hubbard's I'm Gonna Drink Till I See Double and then take one of you home to follow that?
That would be a great pairing.
Good
wouldn't
theming.
it?
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Hardy even admits.
I love that shot, by the way. For those of you watching
the
on
picture.
Circle.
It looks like an outtake from like Bonnie and Clyde
It's
or The
seriously-
Godfather or
Yeah,
something.
I
They
mean,
they all
Honestly,
look great.
Hardy is giving Teddy Roosevelt in this set a little bit. Do you see what I'm saying? Just a little bit? Yeah.
When he would wear the glasses, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Hardy's-
you know, I was on a panel with Dr. Dre once
Stop everything.
with
What?
Casey Kasem.
Oh,
Dr.
wow.
Dre and Ed Lover were together because they were doing their show in New York in those days. Bob and Tom. I represented country. That's how I was on the panel.
Oh,
Wow.
And we hung out in the green room. Dr. Dre and I and Casey were just sitting around the green room waiting to go out.
That
A moment frozen in time.
Yeah.
that just made my Friday hearing that. That is incredible. Of course, Casey Kasem, to me, the voice of Scooby-Doo as well, growing up.
He's well aware.
Oh.
He was well aware.
Oh, Shaggy, not
Yes.
Scooby-Doo. He was the voice of Shaggy.
He
What am
was
I saying?
Shaggy,
On
yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
Scoob, old buddy, old pal.
Shaggy?
Yeah.
Scooby trees.
You guys are making my day with this. Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
But I interrupted you. You were. Where do we get this product?
well, you can buy it online. I think they also have it at Walmart. It is Gin and Juice by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. And I will be cracking open a cold one on my rooftop this summer.
They missed the opportunity, though. See the way the cans line up? Jeff, could we put the cans back up? Each can should have a different part of the car. So if you buy them all, you make the car.
Charlie,
See what
why
I'm
didn't they
saying?
hire you? Now you're giving us away
Yeah.
for free.
See, like when Johnny Walker did the Game of Thrones
Yes.
thing, you
Oh,
know,
yes,
if you
yes,
got the
yes.
4 bottles and stacked them up, it made a whole scene. So I'm a marketing guru. Here's what
I'll tell you what
You got to
do.
stop giving
Yeah.
away
What
these
do-
ideas
what do
for
I-
free.
What do
You
I
call
do?
Dr. Dre and you say, "Hey,
Just call him
I
up.
got a better idea."
You know him. You call him up.
Can I call Hardy?
That
I think
would
of the
be
3, he
easier.
might be the one.
He'd be the easiest to
I
reach,
think so.
honestly.
And everybody in your places to your spots, please. BAILEN in studio. We have David and Daniel and the favored one. I'm just sure of it, Julia. Even though we just met minutes ago for the first time. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. You were at Cannery Row last night, Cannery Ballroom, and did we treat you well?
Oh, Nashville always treats us well.
How long you been coming to Nashville?
Oh, I have my relationship with time is very nebulous.
Uh-huh.
Very, very confusing. I don't know. Years. Must be years at this point.
2017.
Yeah.
2017, first time we played.
First show in Nashville.
You sound like Willie Nelson, who says to his producer, Buddy Cannon, one day, he goes, "Hey, Buddy, you know where I am?" He goes, "No." He says, "I'm in Florida." He said, "Oh, good." He said, "You know where I'm going to be tomorrow?" He goes, "No, somewhere else in Florida."
We don't know. I know. I just get in the car. I just get in the car and follow the blue dot.
Yeah.
The other night I said, thank you so much for coming out on a Wednesday. The joke was it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
And who thought it was Canary? Canary.
Yeah, I was looking around for some birds, but didn't see any.
To be honest, that's what I thought it was too.
It's a
when I
cannery.
first
They make
moved here.
cans, not birds.
Cannery.
They make cans and sibling bands play there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So you guys have never known any other life since you were kiddos? I mean, you had this instant connection musically?
Yeah, Daniel and I, we actually met.
Our mother introduced
Yeah,
us.
she
You met in the womb.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
10 minutes apart.
I'm 10 minutes older.
Yeah.
Best 10 minutes of my life.
Did you
And
lord that over him for the most part?
You can hang that over his head for the
Yeah.
rest
Oh,
of your
yeah.
life. Iconic.
And so, Julia, are there other siblings? Or
No, it's just the three of us.
three of you?
And I'm a little younger. So the joke is that we met when we started the band because I grew a personality latently. I didn't have one until I was 17.
So what did you do for the first 17 years?
I honestly, I have no memory. No memory. No, I was in school acting. I went to an art school for acting.
Yeah.
And then started playing with the boys my senior year of high school and never acted again.
So you raised in the city, in New York?
Yeah, New York,
Yeah.
upper Manhattan.
So what's life
Morningside
like
Heights.
growing up for you guys?
We were a bunch of hooligans.
Hooligans.
Yeah.
Were you really?
I mean,
Daniel
it was
said we
kind of
got into
cool. We would the most Huckleberry Finn stories that we have are when we would stand outside of Yankee Stadium with a sign that said Yankees #1 fan. We need tickets, and we would get into every single game
We're very cute.
for free.
They look like
Cute
they were
hooligans.
12
So
years
what you're
old.
saying is,
We
any
were
concert
little
I wanna go to.
rascals. Yeah.
We have Taylor Swift for
Then
$4.
We got
Yeah.
we got so good at it
Like
that
an 11-year-old to just hold some signs.
yeah, but
They
we got
really
so
looked
good
young.
at it that we the whole baseball team would hang out behind us, our little league team, and we would get 40 tickets for each game, and we would get everybody into the game, and obviously there's seats that are just scattered around, so we would try to find seats, and we made friends with the security guard in the front row, and he let us up, and so it was pretty. We got our whole
You
family. We
worked
got our
the
family
system.
into the playoffs one year.
No.
That was pretty embarrassing because our parents were just following us around. We would have to find 5 seats together, and someone would be like, "These are my tickets," and we're like,
Our
"Oh,
dad's
sorry,
like, so
sorry,
how'd you
sorry,
get
sorry."
these tickets?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
I've got a 10-year-old at home, and I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm
You
making
gotta-
signs when
You know,
I go
it-
home.
it-
I have never thought of this.
But it doesn't work as well
it's a
now
little
that the internet doesn't exist. It didn't exist back then.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were.
because now you have to scan your ticket.
Oh, because everything's mobile, so you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
actually
it's
get,
you
you can't just
they're
hand me 2
non-transferable.
tickets.
Yeah.
You hand them 2 tickets.
But they're working on a
Missed
new
my
system,
time.
Charlie.
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah.
We're
All
working
As soon
on
as
it.
they break through, they'll
I
let
bet,
you in on
I bet
this.
your
We've
10-year-old could
got
figure
some
something out.
coders
though.
on
Okay.
that. Got some computer guys.
Yeah.
working
Listen,
on
I can't
this
even get
stuff.
verified to buy Taylor Swift Eras tour. They won't. She won't even take my money. I want to give her my money. She won't take it. So
#1 Taylor Swift fans.
very
we could do it.
hard, you know.
So, was athletics a part of your early life before music, guys?
Do you
mentioned Little
consider
League.
baseball athletics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you consider eating sunflower seeds athletics?
I read Shakespeare on the bench, and that was my athletics.
No, we are big baseball fans.
Yeah.
I'm actually in a fantasy baseball league with Amos Lee.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
we love Amos.
I'm 3 years in a row champion.
Wow.
And I remind Amos about it every time I
what
see
do you
him.
get for being champion 3 years in a row? Do you get
Um,
rings or jewelry of
It's
some
a lot
sort?
of pride.
He featured on our record. That's
and-
what
Yeah,
we
that's
got.
what
Can I
He's in
share?
debt
Can
to
I share a
us.
quick Amos Lee story? It's one of my best stories. I don't have many good stories, but the
God.
Amos Lee is a good story.
Please.
So my wife and I have been married almost 20 years, but we were still dating at the time, 20-something years ago, and his album had not even come out, the debut, and he was opening for Norah Jones. So we had tickets, and my wife said, "What time do we need to go?" I said, "Well, we need to be there no later than 7." And she goes, "Why?" I said, "Because I don't want to miss the opening act. I've never missed an opening act." And she goes, "Who is it?" And I go, "It's Amos Lee." And she goes, "I don't know who Amos Lee is." I go, "I don't know who he is either, but we're not going to miss him." So after the first song, she leans over and she goes, "This guy is amazing." And I'm like, "See?" So at the merch table at intermission, I tell him this story. He signs the CD to Renee, "Never miss the opening act, Amos Lee." So that's my Amos Lee
Yes.
story. But I love it.
We were his
But-
opening act
yeah.
for 2 tours.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Before
I wouldn't have missed anybody.
Before our record,
Yeah.
first record was out.
And the first time I saw him was shortly after you did. He was in town, and he was opening for Bob Dylan on that
wow.
particular Dylan tour
Yeah.
that year at the Ryman.
Who's that? Bob.
Dylan.
Oh,
Dylan.
yeah.
I
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, Google search that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may want to do a cover one of these days, and when you do, that'd be a good place to start. Huh? So, Tired Hearts Deluxe Edition. What do I get with the Deluxe Edition?
You get 2 free Yankee tickets.
We have a collab with Amos on the record.
Oh, good.
And then a few live recordings of the songs, and then 2 new songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're going to perform live for us in the segment that follows. But right now, we're going to open with Here We Are Again. We'll roll the video for folks who are watching us on our Circle streaming platforms and Circle Now, and as you listen all over the world.
Who gets credit for the artwork on this? Because it's really cool.
Oh,
On
it
the
is
video?
so-
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
friend Colin just did. We basically were like, do whatever you want. And we gave him a bunch of like tour footage that we had filmed in the middle of Nebraska. We happened to we
Was
pulled
it
over.
Nebraska?
It was
No, it
Neb-
was
Actually,
South
one of the
Dakota.
One of the
It was
Dakotas.
one of them.
Thank you.
I don't know which one.
So just go. We've learned a lesson today.
Yeah.
Just say Dakotas,
The
and you can't be
Dakotas.
wrong.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
Dakotas. It turned out we pulled over. It was like a barren road, and it turned out to be a shooting range that we decided to film on. So a policeman came up to us, be like, "You guys,
Invigorating.
what are you guys doing here?" We're like, "We're shooting a video." He's like, "Well, there are people shooting other things here."
That is true.
They were at the Cannery Ballroom last night and were kind enough to get up early and come see us on their way to Indianapolis in a few hours. BAILEN in studio on Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Yes, and I've been waiting to tell you guys this story all morning. So your music is very popular in the news anchor community. That may
it.
sound
Oh my God.
very
Wait,
strange.
really?
You mean
Yes.
like Ron Burgundy news anchor?
Yes,
were?
that exact one.
Okay.
I am honored.
My friend Jack Royer, who has been a huge mentor to me throughout my broadcast career, in a past life I was a news anchor, and right as I was deciding to make the switch to leave my job working in news and to move to Nashville 3 years ago, my friend Jack sends me a message because he knows how much I love working with artists, and he's like, "Hey." And this guy doesn't listen to music all that much. And he's like, "Hey, I just came across this awesome band called BAILEN. If you ever get to work with them, please take the opportunity. They are so great. I love their music. I think they're so awesome. Listen to them." So I started listening to you guys about 2-3 years ago, and I was like, I really love you guys. And then I get the message that you guys are coming in. And
nice.
so your music and getting to know you has been such a huge part of me moving here and working in music and sort of
Oh, that's so sweet.
started it all.
I love that.
They'd like
How
for you to know at a
cool.
nominal retail price, you can buy their new album, Tired Hearts, which
Yes.
is available wherever you get your music.
There's a deluxe version available
yes.
too, so that would be the one.
You know, it's funny. We actually paid him to plug like 3 years ago to tell you about it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really full circle inside
Yeah.
job here.
What you gonna play and sing first, Julia?
So we're gonna sing a song called BRCA first, which is it's a genetic mutation that I have that makes me really likely to get breast cancer and ovarian cancer at some point in my lifetime. And I share this gene with my mom, who is a breast cancer survivor. Go Suzanne. And I wrote this for her because I just feel really grateful that I have her to look up to and go through this with. So
You just don't want that to end. That's just an extraordinary performance live, early morning. Coffee, Country, and Cody, WSM Radio, all our Circle streaming platforms, circlecountry.com, Circle Now in the App Store.
I'm curious, because obviously that's a really personal song for you and for your family, but music is so universal. What have you heard from people who've heard that song? I mean, I got to think that's one that they come up and talk to you about.
yeah, I've met a lot of people with this genetic mutation and really similar ones, and they're always kind of like, I saw that on, or like, I don't know, a lot of sound people, actually. There have been a couple sound people who have been doing sound at the shows and been like, I saw that on the set list, and was like, surely that's the thing.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, wow. But I've met a lot of people who've been touched by this, and it's been really difficult and beautiful to kind of talk about it, because it's a really weird thing to live with, because it's like kind of just ambiently there.
Mm-hmm.
And you just like have a lot of engagement with that healthcare system.
Sure, yeah.
And
Probably makes them feel less alone, that you've kind of
Yeah.
given a voice to kind of what they're going through.
Yeah,
too.
it's pretty niche. Like
Yeah.
it's a pretty
Yeah.
niche thing to write about,
Yeah.
but it's cool. It's really cool to kind of meet people and talk to people about it.
But BRCA, is that how you pronounce it? BRCA?
BRCA, yeah, BRCA.
Nothing Takes Me Down. That's the parenthetical title. And good morning to your mom. You referenced Susan. That's your mom.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Elliot is your dad. They're classically trained, did I read?
That's what they do for a living. They're classical musicians, and they freelance in New York.
So what do they play?
Our dad's the cellist and our mom's a flutist, and they're carrying their cello flute all over New York City. The other day it was his beater cello, so it was good, but he got it. He like went through the turnstile, forgetting he had it on his back, and it just like crushed the cello.
Like
Bad day.
Bad day.
I used to.
It's actually okay.
It's okay.
Actually sounds better now.
He had to get it
It
fixed. but-
had a It was the bad cello.
Oh,
so that's okay.
thank God.
Yeah, but
I play classical bass sometimes in their chamber group, which is always fun. I'm the child that had to please them. They didn't care about classical music.
So what's next on the set list in studio with us this morning?
we're gonna do
Slightly more uplifting song.
I feel like the guy who heard Crosby, Stills, and Nash for the first time.
That's such a.
Can we get that in writing?
I mean that. I mean that sincerely.
Thank you.
Thank you
Just
so much, man.
Magical.
Oh.
BAILEN
Appreciate it.
in studio with us this morning. Julia, David, and Daniel.
And we hope as the years go on, you guys get along way better than they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unlikely.
I send that out to you. So.
That's true.
We're shooting for Oasis.
Iconic.
And good luck on the Fantasy 4-Peat Championship.
Yeah.
It's not looking good, actually, the way I'm starting the season off, but
They'll see you in a few hours at the Hi-Fi, your lucky night in Indianapolis with BAILEN. On the 30th anniversary edition of Coffee, Country, and Cody, WSM Radio, all our Circle streaming platforms. Circle now, that's in your app store. Our weekend starts in about 8.5 minutes. I'm all for it.
Let's go. I still got YouTube shows to edit for us, so my weekend's going to start a little later. But that's okay.
Live close by, visit often from Raul and the Mavericks, Raul Malo. And that was also the voice of Nicole Atkins singing with him on the forthcoming May 17th release, Moon and Stars, which was the first single, the title track, that one with Sierra Farrell. Mm-hmm. And you are Eryn Cooper. Tell us about YouTube and what people will see. And
that is me. I'm going to look over here and check my hair real quick. I was just a roadie
You're
in
fine.
the studio.
I told you I would tell you if it's out of order.
Can I trust you for that, Bill?
Yes,
You're a man. I don't know if you know.
I don't know that you know, because you keep looking and primping and fluffing and all that.
And fluffing. Okay, well, before we get to me, I will give a quick plug to our YouTube. If you go to the WSM Radio YouTube, we upload the full episode of every Coffee. What's the name of the show again? That
Coffee,
you said
Country, and
Coffee,
Cody.
Country, and Cody.
30 years, thank you.
Yes. Happy 30th anniversary.
She doesn't know the name of the show.
I upload the episodes every day to YouTube. They live there forever if you want to check out your favorite performers after they've been in here. And now a brisk segue to Charlie Mattos.
Now available.
Who has
an all-new album paying tribute to, and I knew him well. I called him friend, Chet Atkins. We Still Can't Say Goodbye. Performances from Vince Gill, Eric Clapton, Tommy Emmanuel, Ricky Skaggs, James Taylor, Alison Krauss, Brad Paisley, Sierra Hull. Produced by 3-time Grammy winner Carl Jackson, whom I ran into in the corporate office lobby, rocking from head to toe Ole Miss gear here within the last month.
What a shame.
As he was working with Catherine Russ.
I'm doing some fine modeling over here.
Yes, you are.
You know, I did notice that you can't see the marbling on the record on TV. I don't think you can see it, but it's a beautiful marble orange cream colored record.
Gatefold cover, limited edition of 7,500 numbered. This is 202, by the way. Autographed by Vince Gill, if you notice in the bottom corner right there. So,
is that what that says?
Very nice.
Watch the exclusive documentary about the making of the album. That's at 9 o'clock Central on CMT tonight. We Still Can't Say Goodbye. Available now on vinyl and CD. Limited editions available as well, exclusively at shop.opry.com and all locations of the Opry shop here in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I just opened the door to let our friends BAILEN out, and it is about as humid out there this morning as it's going to be on the 4th of July here in Nashville. And our friend Chris Young will be headlining the annual Let Freedom Sing Music City Party on July 4th. Of course, this also has one of the largest firework displays in the whole world that they do.
It has his famous friend Kelly Sutton as a host.
Exactly.
I want to point that out.
Kelly will be there too. I will be comfortably on my rooftop watching from a distance where I can go downstairs and put on sweatpants whenever I want. However...
Who was it? Devin O'Day, when Devin was calling her eating pants or her stretchy pants.
Yes.
But on Fridays when they would have snacks, it was stretchy eating pants.
My stretchy pants are going on in about 37 minutes when I get home. We're very excited. Also playing the show will be my very close friend Blessing Offer. He is so phenomenal. Also Yola will be there, and folk trio Girl Named Tom will be performing on the 4th of July. So shout out to Chris Young. Very excited for him. And I have been waiting to get to this story all morning, and I have about a minute exactly to go over it before we have to sign off. Taylor Swift dropped her new album last night called Tortured Poets Department, not to be confused with Dead Poet Society,
Correct.
the movie starring Robin Williams.
Yes.
So, as Taylor Swift accepted the Grammy back in February for Best Pop Vocal Album for Midnights, her last album, she informed the audience that she had been keeping a secret for 2 years, that she had recorded a new album, The Tortured Poets Department, and it would be released today. But when she said 2, she held up 2 fingers. And as we know, we always have to look for Easter eggs as Taylor Swift fans. Fans automatically picked up that 2 meant something, and we were right. She dropped a 16-song record at midnight last night, and 2 hours later, another one. It is a double album with 15 additional songs. It is called The Tortured Poets Department, the Anthology. So that's 31 new songs
Good math.
from Taylor Swift.
Yes.
I got better at math after producing here. I gotta be honest. Of course, the major theme being heartbreak of this album. So what else would we expect? But I'm gonna go cry to it when I get home very soon.
I didn't know I was supposed to look for clues. I thought maybe that meant she knew where the Jimmy Hoffa body is.
Maybe.
It's coffee.
You never know.
Country. And maybe she does. And Cody. Hey, between now and next Thursday, check in at Opry.com because we're doing a special 30th anniversary Opry, Larry Gatlin and I, Opry Country Classics next Thursday with Marty Stewart, Susie Vargas, Don Schlitz, T. Graham Brown, and of course the Gatlin brothers, Larry, Steve, and Rudy. Opry.com. Hope you'll join me to celebrate 30 years at WSM in the Grand Ole Opry.
We'll be backstage to Gatorade you like the head coaches when they win a big game. You ready?
And Charlie Mattos' lineup tonight includes John Conley, Darren and Brooke Aldridge, Connie Smith, and Josh Shunquist's debut.